So hi guys, before we jump into our final scary Christmas legend, I just have two announcements. Number one is thank you guys so much for 100 plus subscribers now while filming this. I never even thought I'd get to double digits, so thank you guys so much for getting me to triple digits. I love all you guys so much, and I just can't believe it. We went to the new trampoline place to celebrate, like Get Air. So much fun. If you haven't been there, you should go. Anyway, second announcement is that because this is the last video of the Christmas series, we'll be jumping into our January series, which I said if you were excited for an exposed series I talked about a while ago, that's what we're gonna do. The other announcement connected to that one is that the exposed series are a series of serious videos. And they're talking about things that I'm not just going to use a month for. So in the month of January, they will be our Wednesday videos. But then when it becomes February, since I already had a series on Wednesday for February, we're just going to continue the exposed series on the weekends. Because these people that I'm talking about in the exposed series, if you haven't heard about them, which you've probably heard about at least two of them, but if you haven't heard of them, I'm going to make videos. And everybody's like, well, if you've already heard about two, why are you still going to make a video? Because what I'm doing is I'm going back to their childhood all the way to the last thing they were known doing. So I'm going basically through their whole life up to this point, which that's to give you guys, because I'm like an advice channel and I'm studying psychology, so that's to give you guys a little bit of how they were brought up and maybe why they did what they did or how they got to that point, you know. Anyway, so I'll stop rambling because that's for next week, but the last person, creature, whatever, that we're going to be talking about is called Lussi. She is from, it said Norwegian roots, which I am Norwegian, so that's fun. Oh wow, there are a lot of words I'm not going to know how to say. It's fine. We put them on the screen. You know me. So, here we go. Let's start with the history. The name of the night, just so I don't say it wrong. The Lussi night was marked in Sweden 13 December. Then Lussi, a female being with evil traits like a female demon or witch, was said to ride through the air with her followers called... This itself might be an echo of the myth of the wild hunt called... In Scandinavia, found across northern, western, and central Europe. Between Lussi night and Yule, trolls and evil spirits, in some accounts, also the spirits of the dead, were thought to be active outside. It is believed to be particularly dangerous to be out during Lussi night. According to tradition, I never can read during these videos. According to tradition, children who had done mischief had to take special care, since Lussi would come down through the chimney and take them away. Damn. And certain tasks of work in the preparation for Yule had to be finished, or else the Lussi would come to punish the household. The tradition of to stay awake through the Lussi knot, to guard oneself and the household against evil, has found a modern form through throwing parties until daybreak. Another company of spirits was said to come riding through the night around Yule itself, journeying through the air over land and water. There is little evidence that the language itself derives from the folklore of Northern Europe, but the similarities in the names Lussi and Lucia, and the date of her festival, 13 December, suggest that two separate traditions may have been brought together in the modern-day celebrations in Scandinavia. Saint Lussi is often depicted in art with a palm as the symbol of martyrdom. So this is about Saint Lussi. According to the traditional story, Lussi was born of rich and noble parents about the year 283. Her father was of Roman origin, but died when she was 5 years old, leaving Lussi and her mother without a protective guardian. Although no sources for her life story exist other than oh God, we're putting them on the screen. Saint Lucy, whose name Lucia refers to light, is known to have been a Sicilian saint. Sicilian, I'm sorry. No one's told me how to say that word. Saint who suffered a sad death in here around AD 310. A devout Christian who had taken a vow of virginity, her mother betrothed her to a pagan. Interesting. She was seeking help for her mother's long-term illness at the shrine of St. Agatha when the saint appeared to her in a dream beside the shrine. St. Agatha told Lucy that the illness would be cured through faith, and Lucy was able to convince her mother to cancel the wedding and donate the dowry to the poor. Enraged, her suitor then reported her to the governor for being a Christian. According to the legend, she was threatened to be taken to a brothel if she did not renounce her Christian beliefs, but they were unable to move her, even with 1,000 men and 50 ox pulling. Instead, they stacked materials for a fire around her and set light to it. But she would not stop speaking, insisting that her death would lessen the fear of it for other Christians and bring grief to non-believers. One of the soldiers struck a spear through her throat to stop these denouncements, but to no effect. Another gouged out her eyes in an attempt to force her into compliancy. But her eyes were miraculously restored. St. Lucy was able to die only when she was given the Christian last rites. In one story, St. Lucy was working to help Christians hiding in the catacombs during the terror under the Roman Empire, and in order to bring with her as many supplies as possible, she needed to have both hands free. She solved this problem by attaching candles to a wreath on her head. So that's Lucy. So tell me if you believe in Lucy or if you believe in the Saint Lucy, because it looks like it was from a story, so they don't know if she was actually real or not. So tell me if you believe that that sounds like an actual story. Tell me if you celebrate Saint Lucy's Day on the 13th of December. Tell me if you celebrate that, but yeah. So that was about Lucy. So again, thank you guys so much for over 100 subscribers. And I'll see you guys in the new series next week. Bye.